it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today with the May Block of the Month as part of my monthly Block of the Month series for 2023. I'm super excited about today's block. It's an Ohio star with some fun square and a square units in the corners, and I have some tips and tricks to share with you and some thoughts on the whole quilt, actually, since we are almost to the midway point. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about the May block. It is a fun Ohio star variation, and our first block was actually a variation on an Ohio star. And I'll just give you a little hint, there are also going to be 2 more Ohio star variations in this quilt. But this one has, just our traditional Ohio star block with the square and a square units in the 4 corners. And I did go ahead, I don't know if you remember last month, I had used just a tone-on-tone background for my small block, and I mentioned that I either needed to redo that block or have some more blocks with the tone-on-tone. I decided that I'm just going to have 3 or 4 of the blocks with the tone-on-tone for the small. So I went ahead and did that. And if you notice, I've been kind of like reversing my blocks. So if I have a center green, I do red for my smaller and vice versa with everything. I'll show you the pressing. I love doing the quarter square triangles with this little, I just love those cute little 4 patches. And we do have a video for making the quarter square triangles, so we will link to that. I actually do it a little bit different than I have it in the pattern, and I will tell you why. I've had people email me and say, how come you have the pattern directions for cutting 4 triangles and there's another way to do it? And quite frankly, not everybody loves either one of those methods, so I have directions for the one in the pattern, and then I also always will direct you to my video for quarter square triangles. But the cutting dimensions are the same. So if you're going to use the half square triangle method of making this quarter square triangle unit, the squares are cut at the exact same size. Just don't cut them into the 4 triangles. Just make half square triangles with a light and a dark, and then put those together like we show you in that video that we're going to link. I also want to point out, hopefully I'll have this corrected by the time this video airs, but if not, I did find a typo when I was sewing the other day, and it is for the dark B. Make sure that for the 12-inch block it says that you only need 1 4.5-inch square, and that's for this center section. And it does say 2 just for the 12-inch block. So I'll try to get that corrected, but if not, just make a note to look for that. Everything else is correct. And like I mentioned, even if you're not cutting your squares into triangles, if you're going to use my other method for the quarter square triangles, these measurements are okay. Okay. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention is that for these square and a square units, I absolutely love the mini simple folded corners ruler. It is such a time saver. You don't have to draw lines on any of your smaller squares if you use this ruler. And again, we do have a video. We can link to that video for using this ruler, and it is just a time saver. And this ruler works for the large block and for the small block. So I just really wanted to point that out. If there's one ruler that I use on a daily basis, it's probably this one. So, okay, a couple other things I wanted to show you, just since next month we will be at the halfway point. So I think this is a really good time to just kind of lay out your blocks and see what you think of them. And also you might want to even take a picture. So, and there you can see that other Ohio star variation that we have already going on. Take a picture and see if there's anything that you know, color-wise that you need to put into your quilt. We're almost at the halfway point, and so I am already seeing that I definitely want to put some pink over here. I've got a little bit here and a little bit here, so I'm definitely going to add a little bit of pink over into my block over here. And whether you're making 2 projects or 1 project, it's just a really good time to evaluate. So, and I'm going to do the same thing for my large blocks. I'm just going to lay them all out here. And this is just kind of the process that I use as I'm going on in a block of the month project. And I can see right now I need some more grays, and those grays are probably going to come next month right there. So yeah, I think I'm doing good with my reds. I feel like the greens are doing well. So, but this next block is definitely going to have a little bit of that gray because I really want to keep that in this quilt. And I think with these larger blocks, I am going to continue using just the print backgrounds for all of it instead of using a solid. But again, this is just a really nice time. And another tip that you might want to do is just when you pull your fabric next month for your block number 6 for the June block, just go ahead and lay the fabrics right here and then step away and maybe even take a photograph so you can see what that's going to look like. And just if you make sure that you keep it just kind of evened out with your colors, then you'll be happy in the end. Another thing I am noticing is I am going to need to use pink again with this larger block setting. I probably won't do it right here since there's pink right there, but I'll probably keep in mind block 7, and I might even write a note. That's a good thing to do. If you have a project box that you're keeping everything in for a sew along, put a note for yourself in your box. Hey, make sure you use gray for block 6, make sure you put some pink in block 7. So that's just a way that I keep notes for myself so that I don't forget. Another thing you can do if you're keeping track of the project in your Quilting Life Planner and Workbook or any other quilting planner, you could also make a note in there. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this month's block. Feel free to watch those other videos that will give you directions for the quarter square triangle unit and the square in a square using the mini simple folded corners ruler. And I can't wait to see all of your blocks showing up. It's so fun to see all the different fabrics that everyone is using. Okay, so that's it for the May 2023 A Quilting Life block of the month. I just really love this month's block pattern. I hope you do too. Remember that you can get the link to head over to my blog and get the PDF pattern from the description below. And all of the other patterns are still available. It's not too late to join in if you're just finding out about this. So be sure to head to the blog where you'll find all the information for everything you need to know for this quilt along. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.